Today we have release v0.170.1 and we want to plan color customization features. Customization features, and check out issue report. Let's just put that in here. All right, so that's our to-do list for today. Let's make sure all the streams are up and running. Are we for today? Yep, that seems to be running. Shouldn't be all the streams that loud. And Twitch seems to be up and running too. And we have the live stream here. So wait, let's hope somebody joins in. So today we're going to first release version 0.170.1. And to do that, we need to run it. We need to test staging. So I'm gonna have to remind myself exactly how that works. So we have test production. And we're going to create a separate browser window. Now, let me just do this. I'll do this here. And we're going to open the same puzzle on the production version. And this is under port 5001. All right, so this is now production and this is staging. So this should be version 0.17 and this should be version 0.163. Q. All right, so next step, we open this folder and we open this folder. And currently, the process is literally copying the files over. Hey, Tristan. This is for the setter side of things. So it's going to basically consist of three major parts. Part one is to update the engine internally to use a lookup table for the colors. Part two is make that color set customizable. And then part three is to kind of manage color schemes, dark mode, and things like that through this system. And down the line, maybe I would like to make color schemes shareable in a way as well, and importable and all that. But I have to figure out that's, you know, is not going to happen today. In fact, today I'm just kind of want to think about the plans and the staging of it, because I'm starting a bit late, so it's already 6:30. I don't have a huge amount of time today. All right, step one is the new release. So that's the important one. And it's going to start by literally copying staging into production like this and hope for the best. And then look at Git and see what Git says. All right, so we've got the calculator here. And in the meantime, I'm going to look at this issue report. Smart Select correctly ignores features which are placed on cell borders, such as crop keys. This check fails for features placed on cell corners, such as candidate circles. Interesting. I think it's posted 2 examples. So wait, that's on app. I'm not sure what he thinks happens here, though. All right, we're going to do the release first, and then we're going to look at that. So that'll be the next patch update. Let's get these files. You're all going to see an insight into my sophisticated underlying puzzle database. And API. Yes, it's the folder called API. That's how it works. That's how you make an API, right? You call the folder API. All right, update. Come on. Lots of stuff happened. I think Git is stunned. Or we're looking at the right thing. Come on, refresh. staging production. I did copy it in the right direction, didn't I? Where was all the other updates? Oh no, when I said no on the same named files, I think it didn't copy anything. God damn it. I think we have to do this again. I don't think the API will have any files that have the same name, but I should have just said yes instead of... My god, why is Windows so slow at copying a bunch of files? It's 14 megabytes of data, come on an SSD. Alright. So Tristan, how's your day so far? How's your weekend? Alright, yeah, now we're seeing things. I also have to remember to change things for the stream, because lately I've been doing a lot of work for a client, which I can't stream. So, let's have a review. We have all the changes to app settings. That was the settings groups. Let's make this bigger, actually. We have the change to under redo. So that's the auto repeat under redo. The decoder. What did we update? Region shapes. I think in this update we changed that. We fixed some things for null cages and stuff like that. Okay, and then we fixed some bugs or minor stuff. All right, all right. Framework we added. We fixed some things in how certain internal stuff is handled for generating the HTML. The setting groups, and yeah, the surprising large amount of code for the settings groups, but it is what it is. All right, here we have the under redo. We have the cosmetic smart select and the diagonal pen lines. Sweet. Styles for the settings groups. Good, good, good. Calculator. Yep, calculator. Groups. Okay. Setting groups. This was diagonal pen lines, setting groups, and yeah, some for the undo, redo, repeat, and just generalizing the code for scrolling on mobile. All right, I'll look at this after this update. It's I'm not gonna squeeze it in. Replace files and destination, and let's hope Git doesn't get angry. So we're gonna do this this update, and then I'm trusting on you guys to give it a testerino. I mean, I only play on the test version, so it's been tested by me, but I don't have that much time to play puzzles. I try to do at least one a day. 2, the daily and one of Simon's videos if I can manage. All right, I think that's it. Let me just check what it looks like. When was the last release? I don't think it makes sense to do a branch. Here we go. Yeah, that's the... All right. So update production 2. I think here's the cleanest view of the version number. 1.7.4. All right, and then we tag it with that. All right, which of course I need to look up. Because I never remember these things. All right, so we'll do this. And oh. And we'll tag it here. Git tag a v . Da da da. Now I don't recall in the last tag how I annotate the tags. Isn't there a way of seeing tags? Let me... Git tag dash L, I think it's to list, right? And can I list them with... git tag... No. Git show v0.171.1. Let's see if that works. No, that's not what I want. I want to list tags with the descriptions. So, annotate, make an unsigned tag object list. Force, delete, verify, list. List tags. How much pattern running git tag without also list all tags. List. Merged and merged. I want different tag message instead. Git tag list with message. With message and git. Git tag dash n. All right. So I just used the same as the message. All right. This is what I want. Boom. Okay. Then we want to push. Git push tag. So git push dash dash tag or tags. And bada bing bada boom. Tag dash lr. Okay, git fetch. Git push. I think it only pushed the tags. Let me just do it again just to make sure. Because if I push a tag for an update I didn't push yet, I don't know how it'll react. And get up. Now I have to be careful that I don't accidentally go onto my work site. So we should now be able to find the version here. Okay. And that should have our changes in here. Sweet. All right. So let's have a look at these, because now this should be updated. No, not this. We should be able to just do this over here. And now, even on main, on app, should this bug exist. So, update the issue. Let me just verify. Oh, wait. Oh, no, because I didn't release it yet. Let's release it, I guess. That's what we're here for. So scared. Well, I can reverse it. Let's have a look at who is playing right now. We're currently... There's only 700 people playing this very minute, so... If it screws people out there, I'll hear about it very quickly, usually. In fact, let me open Twitter. That's usually where I hear about it. And let me open Gmail. People do like to send me emails when something doesn't work, which is good. In fact, let me open SwenCode's Gmail, and I'm going to do this off screen because I don't trust. And SudokuPad email. So this is SudokuPad. Okay, I'm live on the channel. Yep, and SwenCode's. Whoa, I haven't checked in here. I have a bunch of... Oh, somebody wants to import from Penpa. Too sensitive to touch. Uh-oh. Since the last update app is too sensitive to touch. Please fix this. I'm not sure what they mean. It might be related to our undo, redo, repeat delays. But I am playing on my phone. All right. Anyway, let's see. 174. Okay. So yeah, here it is. All right. So let's have a look at that. I mean, to be honest, Mark, I don't see it as a big problem. It's not something I think I want to patch on production anyways. It's not a bug that's... I mean, the only time that'll be a problem is if that corner... If there's something here we want to select. But then it wouldn't override. Like if there is a digit here, let's say we have a 2 here, that will override. So let's have a look. And we can test this in, I guess, here? Yes. And let's have a look at your bug report update. Okay. So my suspicion is that the code that checks for being in the center and for not being on the edge, I think it checks that it's not on the edge in one or the other direction rather than in both. That code, if I recall, lives in... Alright. I think the easiest way to scan backwards is start from Smart Select. Get cosmetics, current cell cosmetics. And work our way backwards. Okay. And here... Is this big enough, by the way? Oops. Can I... Alright, it's bigger now. So. Is same RC. Cosmetics.center. Roll thermo. Underlays, overlays, feature check. Cell cosmetics feature. Has feature is on edge false. Ah, it's this is on edge check, I think. So feature check is on edge if key else is on edge. Let's do this. And then we'll output this. And we'll probably output the part itself. So 6883 so is on edge. So we're basically just checking here if these are round numbers, basically. And we're checking that one... I think I see where the problem is. Let me just put these all out. Just to get our heads around these. By us, ours, I mean me and mine. But I'm gonna use you guys as my scapegoat. So, you know, just so you guys don't get confused, I'm gonna look at it in detail. Oh, I'm getting messages. I'm getting messages from the other room. Oh. Posting memes. Alright, so. We have blah 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 0 0. And then blah 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 not 0 0. Okay. And then what I'm doing here is I'm adding them together. So I'm taking the sum of these two, right? And then I'm checking if the sum of these two is exactly equal to 0.5. And why would that be the case if it's on an edge? Because one of them would be 0.5 and the other one would be 0. Okay. So false, 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 true. So 0 0 is false. 0.505 is true. And equals check 0. Okay, if it's true or false, right? So is on edge would be true if it's at 0.0.0. And it would be false if it's 0, 0. This is rounded true, and this is corrupt key. So the corrupt key dot here is on the edge, so it comes back as true. And this one is false because it ends up as 0, 0. So I guess I have to check the two parts individually. I was hoping to be able to combine them. Let me think about this, right? So we have a couple of options, right? We have 0, 0, we have 0.5, 0, we have 0, 0.5, and we have 0.5, 0.5, right? This is a Boolean table, right? And we want this to be... So the only one here we want to be false for is on edge is the cell center. So this is F, and then all of these are true. Right. Now the problem is, if I add them together, so after plussing them, this is 0. After plussing them, this is 0.5. After plussing these, it's 0.5. And after plussing these, I'm just going to denote this by this. This is not mathematical notation. This would be 1, right? So I have the sum, and I'm checking if the sum is equal to 0.5. All right, let me get rid of the part here, because that's just putting... Oh, no, not here. Get rid of the part here, and this. So that's just noise, and now we're gonna get... Whoop. Oh, come on, that's obviously a comment. So these with 1.5 are the edge ones. These are detected correctly. 0.5. These on two full numbers are 0. Now this example doesn't have a singular element that's within the cell. So we should probably switch to one that does. Like this one. And I'm guessing I'll switch these for consistency. So here... False. We're looking for is on edge to be false. Yeah. So here they add up to 1. So 1 is false. Right? 0.5 is true and 0 is false. So we're actually checking if it's not 0, right? No, sorry. Wait. We are checking if it's 1. While currently it's checking... It's returning true for these two, but it's returning false for these two. And the case with these guys is this one. Because both coordinates don't have a remainder. I think what we really want is... I guess the easiest thing would be to subtract 0.5 from either one of those. Add them together, and if that's 0... Basically, I'm thinking, right? If something is in the center of a cell, it's at a 0.5 coordinate. So if we reset our entire coordinate system by -0.5, -0.5, so then the centers are all at round numbers, then any sum of x and y that isn't a round number, as long as there can't be a negative, right? So if there's any fractions, because I'm just thinking like if it's off by 0.3 on the one and 0.7 on the other, then it'll be a round number again. So I don't think we can just do it. All right, I think I'm gonna, instead of breaking my brain, I think I'm gonna just simplify this and check x and y separately. So basically what we want to check is that either one of that, this one independently and this one independently are both 0.5. So we want to say this equals 0.5, right? And this is 0.5. And that's equal to our check thing here. So we have a we have the modulus 1 here. We take the absolute value. And then we compare it to 0.5. Then we do the same thing for the column. So there's a row, column. And if both of those are true, then we check if that's equal to our check value here. And we add that into our result. Right. And to just compare it, we're going to stick that up here into our little output. So we have these two separately. And I'm just going to remove all the other stuff. Remove this, remove this, remove this. And remove this. And we're going to have these two parts here. Like that. And this part. And that should be our result. Yeah. Forgot something here. Oh, we have a spare brace here. Fair enough. So, true, false. So that shows that one of them is on the edge. So that'll be a property dot, and is on edge will be false. No, will be true in that case. So we need to have the opposite, I think. Because these should all be false here. Which they are. And here, some of them should be true. So equals 0.5 is true, true. So if both of them are true, we get true. And if either one of them is not true, we get false. All right. Except we need to invert it, right? Because it's called is on edge, not is in center. So these become not equal. And this becomes an or. And now we can't double click these anymore. But on this one, we can still double click these. Sweet. And the other test case was... What was the other test case? This case, well... Yeah, let's do that. Well, I mean, it's the same as that, right, with the pluses. But double-clicking here will no longer do the thing. Yet, double-clicking on the circles and squares still works. All right. Well, I inverted it, so it should be fine. And that should be the fix. Let's have a look at it. Hello. Wow, that took a while. And that's all we've done. We've changed this by, we're just checking the sum, 4.5. We're now checking each individual coordinate, and we're making sure both of them are not equal to 0.5. Now, I think we don't have to worry about rounding here. I don't think 0.5 is a problem. Yeah, 0.5 is not a problem for binary representation, so... it's not the clearest of code. I almost want to make a little helper function here. But this kind of is the helper function, isn't it? Like, does it make sense to do something like this? Const is on edge equals something like that. RC. Right, and then basically do this in there. So this would be row. This would be column. And that would be the output. Yeah, maybe this makes sense here. And is an whoops. So instead of all of this, we're gonna write is on edge part.center equals check. Because we also want to be able to do the opposite, right? I think this is better. Let's make sure it still works. Yep, and refresh. Yep, still seems to work. All right, I'm happy with this. And then probably later on we'll change all of these as well. To be honest, we probably could use center rounded here as well. By saying center rounded equals 0.5.5. Excuse me. I think if we did this is basically the opposite of is on edge, right? Is center. So we could actually get rid of that is on edge check. Let's have a quick look what that would look like. So if instead of is on edge false, we'll say center 0.5.5, would that still work the same way? Did I probably just reversed it, right? No, I did not reverse it. Center 0.5.5. Why is it not the same? Ah, because this is not relative to the cell. This is absolute values. That's why. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. No, that doesn't make sense, actually. That does not make sense. It does make sense, yeah. It makes sense where it dynamically figures this out for things like arrows and yeah, okay. I'm happy with this one. All right. And we'll do a version bump. So npm bump patch. We probably should actually start a new minor version since we've just done a release. It makes sense. So despite this just being a patch, we're actually going to make a new version on this. In fact, I should have probably done a new version for the release itself, but it is what it is. Yeah, I should have incremented the version on release and just have a brand new version on release that I can now patch. All right. It is what it is. All right. That goes out into staging. And this just deployed. And we need a quick test puzzle because I don't like... Hey, Eric. Well, the best thing you can do is whenever you play a puzzle... wait, let me show you. Let me show you. Nope. Let me show you. So, for example, if you play something from the Discord Puzzle Archive or the videos or anything like that, let's say something like this, right? So the best thing is click here and open and test and then play it here. That's the best, because then it helps me to know that things are stable and I can release more often and more quickly. And of course, you know, patreon.com/SvenCodes. That's obviously a big help. All right. I don't want to do one that's too hard for me and it takes too long. Let me think. This looks copycat? There's a long arrow sound circle because sometimes the archive ones are a little tough for me. Between lines. There's a line, but it must be between the two circles on each end. So, if these are 1 and 9, these can't be 1 and 9. These can't be 9. None of these can be 9. So there's 9s here, 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 and the 9s have to be with an 8. So there's a 9-8 or 9-8 here, and there's a 9-8 or 9-8 here. But we don't know in which order. And in this direction, we don't have the same constraint. We just know there's a 9 here and here. So, for example, could this ever be a 9? That would mean this would have to have a 9, this would have to have a 9. Yeah, so these can't be 9s, right? So in these corner ones, the 9s are in the rows and columns like that. And in these cases, there's an 8 also here. And it's the same in these cases. So there's an 8 here or here. Now, if there's a 9 here, there would be an 8 here, but the 9 could be also on this side. Is there a limitation for these guys? So if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if this is a 1, this has to be 5 or above. And if this is a 9, this would have to be 5 or below. Is that useful for the X here? The Android app. Yeah, for the Android app, I need more time to work on it, mostly. Which obviously is hard when I'm trying to pay bills by doing paid work. Sadly, the Android app so far has been a lot of debt. But yeah, same thing. The more I can focus on this stuff, the more quickly I can push features up the pipeline. I should drink the water, not spill it. Okay, so any ideas? What features could be off-centered inside a cell? Yes, Mark, but that was, don't blame me. You implemented it like that. You never implemented it with a check for the size of it, right? Because we're check. Let me think. Yeah, you're right. I know what you're saying. I'm being an idiot. Sorry. You're saying before we're checking that the specifically it was on an edge line, and now we're checking that it's just not in the center. Except, is that really what we're doing? Is that really what we're doing? Because I'm not sure about that. Let me double check though. So feature check is on edge. Row is not equal to 0.5 or... Yeah, you're right. This is no longer is on edge. Shoot. Is on edge means one of the values has to be a 0, I think. Because we're modulusing by 1, and if it's on, so you know, if it's on, it's only looking at the upper and the left edge, right? And if either one is on the edge, okay, so basically we need to say this one is equal to 0 or that one is equal to 0. Is on edge, right? Let me double check that. And if I do it with this one, that still works. I think you were right. I think this is more accurate. It's kind of hard to test without... Oh, no, it's selecting the 9s. It's hard to test without a slightly off-center example. Do you have a slightly off-center something? Maybe a corner element. I think you sent me something the other day where you were concerned about Unicode. But that was... Yeah, there must be a puzzle with something in a corner, like a Unicode character. There are a couple of those. Let me find one. I remember we did some a long time ago. There's a bunch in the book. I don't have one handy. These are all centered. I think these are... I don't know if these are implemented as cages. No, they're not. They're cosmetics. Okay. So this one still selects all of these. But it doesn't look at the text content. Right. Filter part check cosmetic. So it's only checking probable thermo for each filter. Cosmetic feature check cosmetic cell cosmetic feature is an edge size max. Line waypoint is same. Probable thermo. Cell cosmetic. So here we're excluding thermos. But how are we comparing the cosmetics that they are the same kind of cosmetics? Cell cosmetics. Cell cosmetics. Cell cosmetics. Smart set. Get cosmetics. Cell cosmetics. Get cosmetics. Cosmetics equal. That's the thing. That's the business, right? So, let's duplicate this one. Like this. Oops. And then from here, we're gonna do that. And see how that works. And then we'll see if we can implement what you suggested the other day about... No, the code is not open source, I'm afraid. It would be too hard to manage a commercial project and have open code. I mean, you know. And the problem is quite often for me to understand and verify code given to me takes basically the same amount of time as writing the code myself. So contributing code that way is very difficult. Yeah, so we have text here. So we could check if text exists. I guess equality makes sense, right? And so if c1.text equals c2.text. Now, if text doesn't exist, it would just compare undefined to undefined, and it would work, right? Like, this makes much more sense. And I think it would still work. Well, this one's not supposed to work. Still work for these guys. And then the thermals it's skipping. Yeah, I think this makes more sense. I think this is good enough. So we're really just adding that one extra check here. And it's not a big change either. So we've fixed this one because this wouldn't have worked before because these are not centered, right? It just now checks that the item is not specifically on the edge. But it will let you select things that are in the corner like that. Which could, you know, it'll bite us in the ass. There will be some circumstance where something's kind of overlapping into other cells and stuff. But for now, this actually will do the job. All right. I think that's another patch. And we're in the wrong folder here. Today, we're making some sausage. All right, so come on, update, update, update. There we go. Add text to cosmetic. Select. Bada bing, bada boom. And deploy. Ah, no, we don't need this one. Screw it. Need that one. We do want to do this one. All right. So, don't need that one. Oh, let's do this one. Uh-huh. And we can say... All right, and we can fixed in. Boom. I think that's all I need to do. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. So wheat. So this is done. And this is done. Well, the webpage doesn't let you collect puzzles, which is what the app is for. And certain features will only go in the app. All right, let's keep on testing. This should be released now, the new update. So we're now on version 0.1. Yep. Let's see. So I excluded 8 and 9 from this. Right. We know 1 can't be on it, so this is now 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the same with this one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, in this case, 8 doesn't necessarily have to be there because it could be there. But we know these aren't 9. Ah, wait. But these can be 9. Ah, I'm a dummy. Okay, let me get rid of this for a sec. Because these arrows are the opposite way around. So the 9s could be on these arrows. But 1s couldn't be. And 1s can't be there either. No, they could be. But they can't be here. So 1s can't be here. So here, it's the 1s and the 2s that are over here. Which means there's no 2s here. So the same way 8 and 9 are excluded from here, 1 and 2 are excluded from here. And from these. And no, 1s could be here. Because the opposite of the 8 and 9 could have the 1 in it. And in fact, the same here, 8 and 9 could be on these. So all we can say is 1 and 2 and 9 aren't on here. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are on here. But 9 could be here. I have a feeling it's one of those where we kind of gotta keep pushing that concept over and over and over, round, round, round. But I don't yet know how. So, for example, we know this can't be a 5. Does that mean... No, this can always have a 6, because this could... If these are the extremes, this can be anything it wants to be, these two. Ah, wait, but they can't be. This can't be 1 and 9 because of the x. If this is a 1 or a 9, this would be the 1 or the 9. So... Does that mean... We can... Well, this could be 2 and 8. And then this could be a 9. Since we can't have a 1 on here anyways, we could still have a 3 and an 8 on these. I was just thinking if we could exclude some of these extremes. So, what's next? Problem is, we also don't know which of these is 8 and 9. Ah, so one of these can't have 1 and 2 on them, so that'll be 3 and 4. So one of these is a minimum of 7, and one of these is a minimum of... a maximum of 7. But one of these is a minimum of 7. So wherever there's a 1 here, because the 1 can't be here and it can't be on these. So there's a 1 in one of these. So let's mark the ones with blue and these with orange for now. So wherever there's the 1, either here or here, these two have to be at least 3 and 4, which is 7. So one of these, there's a 7 here, which means no 7 here. It doesn't really help that much. But it could be a 7, 8, and a 9. Now, if one of these has a 9 on it... I'm just thinking, like, right, if the 9 is here, then the 8 will be here as well. Then the other one here will have to be the 7. And then this can be pretty much anything, because these will be high. While if this is a 9, one of these, then one of these will be lower than a 9. I'm trying to think, because these have to be paired up. Do we have a problem if these are like any of these? So there's 2 more digits missing from this run, right? Well, it could be 1. If one of these pairs is a 9, 8, then one of these would be a 7, and then the other one will be a lower number. That doesn't really do the trick. Does it? And here we have kind of the reverse, right? So one of these is an 8 and 9. This can be at most be a 7. Doesn't really constrain us very much. These can't be high. These can't be 9s. Now they can't be 8s either. So, well, it doesn't really mean anything. Like, the one that's not on the side with the 8 and 9 can still be a high digit. And this could... it can't be an 8, so the highest this can be is a 7. Alright, but we have the same problem with a 1. So if there's a 1 in one of these, it also will go with a 2. But it's very likely that the 1 will be on one of these arrows. Alright. Do we have another problem over here? Because we can't have 1 and 9 on here. We can't have a 9 here. And then we have one of these here. But this could be a 1 and this could be a 9, for example. Very easily. And since we don't have a pairing over here, like we can have a 1 or a 9 here without the 2 and the 8 being expelled. And of course, these are arrow tips and arrow bulbs in turn. Wait a second. Can this be a middling value? So if this is 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2... Besides, I can't have a 2 here. So this can't be a middling value, right? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, so this can't be a middling value. So these both have to be the same polarity, and this will be the opposite polarity. And we have the same problem with this. So these two will be the same polarity, and these two, by polarity I mean high or low, right? And then this will be also the opposite of this because of the x. So that means... Doesn't mean a lot. Don't think so. So this just means, okay, what's the smallest this can... okay, if this is a low value, right? So the lowest this can be would be a 1. So the lowest this can be is a 1. I need the pen tool today. 1. Now these can't have 3s on them. 3, 4, 5. So this could be then 6 or up. But then this would have to go down again, and then this would have to be a 1 again. So this can't be too, like, if it can't be too close to the middle, in other words. But that doesn't constrain things, right? The closer to the middle this would be, the more constrained things would get. So if this is a 1 or a 9, well, how close to the middle can we get, right? So we already established it can't be a 5. Could it be a 4 or a 6? So if this is a 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, for example, right? So that's not really a problem. This can't be a 5. Now this one is chained to this one, but just through 1. And it's opposite polarity again. And I still don't know which way around the polarities go, and I think this will probably disambiguate that. I mean, putting 2 through 8 in here is not going to do us any good. Now, if the 9 isn't here, could it be here or here? I think it could be, because before... Yeah, I didn't really take these, that the 9s can be here, into consideration. And that this is low and this is high doesn't really affect things in here. At least I don't think so. And I don't know which of these two arrows will have the 1-2 exclusion. And the same with these. I don't know which of these two arrows will be pushed down to a 7. Now, being down to a 7, what does that mean? It means this, the highest this can be is a 6. For one of them. So we know 8, 9 is here. The highest one of these can be is a 6. So the 7 has to be either on the other side with an 8 or 9 in the bulb, or on here. The problem is there's no problem with the 7 being on here as long as one of these is an 8 or a 9. Now, the only thing we know is that these can't be 5s. Wait a second. If these can't be 5s, we can't put 5s on the 10s. The 5s go in here. I don't know if that's significant. Yeah, I think this is gonna take me too long to solve, and I think I can't justify that. So let me load in, I do want to solve one at least. So let me pull in one from Twitter. And we're gonna actually solve this on app. So that's really the only way to confirm. And this is just a regular classic. That's fine. Just to play through it, make sure we didn't do something very, very silly. Okay. Threes. Nope, nope, nope. 4s. I've got a 4 here. Nope, nothing interesting. 5s like this. 5 there, 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 there. Alright, 6s, 7s. So 3 is over here. Oops. And here. Okay. 7s. Looked at those. 8s go over here. Here and here. 9s. Here and here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 7. Oh, not a 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 4, 1, 4, 6. Okay, 4 goes here. No 6 here, no 1 here. That's a 4, and 4, and 4, and 4. That's all the 4s done. And these 3 are 2, 3, 8. 2, 3. That's our 8. And the 6, 7 with the 1 going here. 7 and 6 over there. All right. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 7, 9, 6. And so 1, 3, 7 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 7. No 2 there. Ah. So 2 needs to be here. All right, and these 3 are 1, 2, and 9. Okay. Let's start over. 1s, 2s. 2s that go here. 3s. Just having a quick look if we've limited some other digit severely. 5. No. There's only 3 left in this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. And the 6 can't go here. So that's here. That can't be a 1, so that's the 8 there. So, wait, alright. Gets us a 6 over there. And an 8 over here. And this is now 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No 3 here. So that's 2, 8, 9. Oh, no 8. So that's 2, 7, 8, 9. Right? 2, 7, 9, 2, 7, 9, 2, 9. And no 2s here. 3, 8, 9. That's fine. 2, 9, 2, 3, yada, yada, yada. Alright, 2, 7, 9. So 7s are down here, but we knew that already. And these 3 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. With no 9 up here. No 2 here, no 3 here. No 9 up here. 1, 2, 3. So that means no 9 here, which puts a 9 here. 2 and 7. So it takes the 2s out of there. And now these 3 are 1, 3, 7. 7, 3, and these are 5, 6, and 8. No 8, no 5. 1, 3, 7. Alright, I'm just kind of checking up. Here we have only 2 left. That's 3 and 5. That's a 5 here, that's a 3 there. So that's 8, 9, alright. 3's over there. Here. 1, 9, so that's the 2. 2 over here. That's all the 2's done. Ooh, we got a lot of 1's left. And 2's are all done. Oops, sorry, I was off the chat monitor. Make sure we have an eye on the check. Hey, Shelby. 3's. Not enough information. 4's done. 5's. Sorry if I got distracted. There's stuff happening behind me. Ah, here we go. 5's done. And this would be a 1, 3, or 6. Can't be a 1. 5's are all done. 6's... not yet. Not yet. Oh, but 6 and 6. So that can't be a 6. Alright. 7, 3, 1, 9, and 7. So 6, 8 over here. And then can't be a 3, of course. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. So any of you guys playing any non-Sudoku games? Been playing a lot of Elden Ring lately. Quite enjoying it. Been a while since I've played a AAA game of any kind. Let's go back from the 9 because I think I got stuck on the 6. If I'm right. It's 9 over here. 8. So 8's up here. 8's over there. Doesn't help me. 7's. So here. No 7 here. Not really very useful. 6s we've already done. Alright, I think we're close to having to just fill in the rest. Actually, we have very little 9s, very little 1s here. So there's a 1 over here. 2s were done, 3s were not done. 3 over here, and 3 over there. Alright. 4s were done, 5s were done, 6s. Yeah, I think situations like that, actually being able to mark off... to mark off the digits you're done with, like the mobile app from SudokuPad does, can be a little bit helpful. I mean, I'm not the big fan of it, and I don't think it's helpful enough to justify the interface space. But I can understand why some people want it or like it. Alright, 6, 7, so that's 3, wait, no. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, no 9, no 6. Okay. 6, 7, 1, 9, 1, 3, 7, not a 7, and that's an 8. And on these 1s and 3s and 7s, here we go, and 3 and 7. Alright, that worked well enough. So I think this update and this release, we can tick it off. Should have closed the last one. I don't remember. I have to get back working on the editor as well. So, today, the next task on my list is to actually finally get started on... Uh-oh. What did I not save here? What did I not save? Please tell me it was nothing. No changes showing up in the Git. I think we're good. And my Git is so slow on WSL. Didn't used to be this slow. Alright. So, today I want to look at the color customization features. And one of the reasons is somebody was posting screenshots using dark mode. And the truth of the matter is, I personally, as you can see, use dark mode for everything else except for my own app, because I think it's atrocious, right? And that made me feel kind of bad. So, and it's a long time coming, it's an obvious feature that people want, and it's probably not as terrible to implement as I fear. Yeah, maybe something subtle, Mark. On the buttons. I mean, I think on the SudokuPad apps, they changed what it looks like on the buttons. Alright, so I've started work on this a while ago. So I'm gonna have to review where that ended up. And this has to happen in a branch. So I'm gonna create a branch. Well, let's experiment first. Let's create a bit of a to-do list, right? So what we started with was the color scheme here. The problem is that a lot of the colors are actually defined in the CSS. So we have two places where we have a couple of options. We can either push everything into CSS, so we're basically replacing all colors with classes, including in the SVG, or we go the opposite direction, right? We put all the colors, take it out of the CSS, and that might include dynamically generating the CSS, right? So in other words, you know, the CSS could be rewritten, or a dynamic style sheet might be added with colors after the fact, right? And of course, that means colors would include colors outside of the in puzzle colors, right? Such as background and stuff, and we'd need to label all the colors, right? So for colors, we need to list/label all colors. And we probably want to do them by groups. So we have the predefined colors, right? So we have everything. So we have in the boards, we have two kinds of colors, right? We have the sort of color listings, like those 9-button colors, but we also have colors like the color of the default color for a grid line, right? So there's colors. Yeah, so for example, here somebody drew a white line and it doesn't get switched around in the dark mode, and it kind of looks odd, right? So doing stuff like that, fixing stuff like that is quite tricky. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. So, I mean, it could even be at build time, right? I could literally generate a CSS file, but I could just, you know, write CSS into the thing, right? So we have these colors. It bugs me that there's scribbling all over it. Ooh, no, this is not good. Interesting. Sorry. Gotta do some debugging here. Why is tool calculator triggered? So that means when we killed the tool, we did not remove it correctly. 229, clear summary, 229. So, I'm guessing here it won't happen, right? But if we enable this, and then disable this, and then do this, this will happen. This element summary, no valid cage selected, scans the property undefined in setting inner HTML, details element. So what happened is that the item got removed, but not enough. Basically, it's not completely removed. So that either means the detach is not being called, or it means the or it means that the detach doesn't correctly detach. So if I disable this and then call, so detach got called and it still does that. All right, so that means there's some event handler that's still sitting around in the back doing stuff. So update. So update still gets called. And update gets called from handle start. All right, handle start. And handle start gets called from dispatch event restart puzzle. So this is probably doing this. But we're also trying to remove it here. Uh-oh! So this is not being removed correctly. Unless it gets fired before the detaching. That is possible. That is possible. So it could be that the same event... not exactly. Wait a second. So handle act and handle start. So this is getting called from handle start. Let's do this. So let's re-enable that, reload it, disable it, and then do this. Did I not clear that? Handle start, arguments, dispatch event, portal event, script restart puzzle, trigger start. Now, shouldn't the detach have fired first? It did. Does my event handler here not handle this correctly? Actually, let me do this. And then I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna error this out so it's nice and red. And we can see how often this happens. And that the numbers correspond. That it gets detached as often as it gets attached. So we're refreshing. So it's attached once, right? Now we're disabling it. It's detached. But not. So the puzzle off is not working correctly. That is really bad, because that is a really old code that I've been relying on here. I wasn't really looking that this I would ever have to debug this. Error. Get event listeners. Get event listeners. So after puzzle off, we're gonna pull the event listeners out. Type start. And we'll do the same thing after the on. So switch it back on, refresh it. We have one start, we have two event listeners. Disable it. Why do we have 3 event listeners now? Ah, well, we should do this before and after. Yeah, let's do it like this. Then we have the indent to know which ones belong with which ones. So on, we should afterwards have one more than we had before. And after off, we should have one less than we had before. So, yep, on we have one more. And off, we don't have one more. What the hell? So remove event listener happens here. All right. If handler is undefined. Now in this case, handler is not undefined. So what I'm guessing is that here we're not passing the same handler in that we got out initially. Which means we're not binding correctly, basically. Which is always a little dodgy in JavaScript. The identity of things. So, basically, when we're doing this, we get a remove event listener. Index of handlers 0 is not equal to -1. We're splicing it. So events type. So after remove, detach, it should go to 2, but it got to 3. Why? Detach elem. Remove event listener. Ah, yeah, this is a different one. Sure. Type act. Yeah, that's the act one. Forget that one. So this one, start. Info handler is -1. Does that mean this.handle start is different? Are we not binding our handlers? We are binding our handlers. This is a problem. The handle, no, it's bound in the constructor. So it should already be bound, and it should only get bound once. Handle start should be bound. So let's have a look at here. After we attach, we're getting the listeners dot index off this dot handle start. All right. We'll do this before and after, and we'll do the same thing over here, before and after. So, enable it, refresh. So index was -1, then it became 1, as expected. Now we're disabling it. Index was 1, then we're removing. Here it says -1. What the heck? Index off handler. Handler. But here, the same index off is returning a value. So get event listeners. And what are we handling? This. I found it. We're not detaching handle start. There we go. So this was a genuine, just simple error. Oh, look at that. Now it just works. So this was actually just a regular programming error, not a deep underlying flaw in my code framework or whatnot, which is always what I fear immediately, so I don't just debug things simply. All right, I think that should fix it. And is it clean? This should not have any changes. Yeah. And yeah, clear summary. So that's the fix, right? So I just copied that line and didn't update that part. Okay. Yeah. I think that's all we need here. Oop. So it was just not removing the correct... It wasn't using the correct event handler for removal. That's all it was. Fix. Killer calculator detach. Done. All right. Now this is obviously not why we're here. Yeah, I don't think we'll get very far into the colors today. I'm sorry about that. To be honest, that's why I haven't been working on it, because it's a bit of an overwhelming subject. So I've been kind of hiding. So basically, we have groups, right? So we have puzzle colors 1 to n. We have puzzle... What do we call it? The generic stuff. Framework just has a generic... Oh man. Does it? I mean, in JavaScript, that's actually not really a big deal, but obviously shouldn't be there. Ugh, it does. I never deleted the... This was the original one, I just never removed it when I replaced it with the one with group support. I'm guessing we just delete it. I probably just used it for testing. Yeah, anyway. There, fixed. Yeah, all still works. I'm not even gonna version this. All right, so where was I? So we have puzzle colors, we have puzzle chrome, and I probably would like to come up with a better word for that. But basically, that's any color that isn't part of the predefined colors. Now, one of the issues I have is under puzzle colors, do I only treat user input colors, or do I use imported colors from other systems? Because those in theory can be arbitrary, right? So I can't really modify them for color schemes, for dark mode and stuff like that. So I probably should have those separate. 3 puzzle custom colors. So those are the colors that are being imported from the external editor. Then we have board UI, and we have app UI. So board UI is the buttons, is this bitty here, everything that's part of the puzzle. And then the app UI is everything that's not part of the puzzle, that's not shared with SudokuPad, basically. And one of the problems I have is that it's not always well defined what is what, right? So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to achieve something where I don't have to do everything for anything to be useful, right? So I'd like to be able to do something where I can have some of the colors customizable, right? Because, for example, right, like I'm doing a bunch of things where I'm actually matching whites and blacks directly in the SVG. Well, that's obviously not great. And then there's a couple of colors like, oh man, there's so many of these. So many. There's so many. 1 second, guys. Hope you guys appreciate it. I'm missing out on my doggy walks. All right, colors, man. I really want to throw in the towel. Colors are so icky. And colors. Ah, yes. What did I want to do? I want to look for all the colors. Where? Find all. Oh, 92 methods. Can I see them, please? Where? So these would be all the colors in style CSS. How many matches? 92. It's actually not nearly as bad as I thought it would be. 92 colors. But that's the thing, right? Nobody wants to modify 92 colors. Now, there aren't really 92 colors in here, right? Like these, for example, these should all be one color. So that's the other job, right? First, I need to like refactor. So this should be 2 colors. And I probably want to implement this using CSS variables. And I think support for that is widespread enough, I think. So maybe that's the goal, right? Maybe steps 1, refactor CSS to use CSS variables. So that would be the first step, right? Second step. So the problem is right now is that the colors for the SVG aren't set in the CSS because they come in from the data, right? And any SVG I'm writing at runtime, you know, if I do this, the blue here doesn't come from a style sheet. Now it probably should, But at the same time, it's also easy, it's also good to be able to make the SVGs independent, right? If I need to create thumbnails, etc. Currently, I'm going through a bit of a pain in the butt of bringing in style sheets. And it's a bit my fault because I'm mixing it, right? There's both. There's internal colors and style sheet colors. So I have to do a bit of thinking and see if I want to go full in on one or full in on the other, or have a one specific style sheet that just defines SVG styles, so separate it out from this style sheet. And maybe that's the right thing, right? Split SVG styles into separate style sheet. I think this makes a lot of sense. So that would be the second step, right? Now we have a whole bunch of colors, you know, we have 92, it's too many. We need to reduce those, right? So we need to reduce and combine colors. So for example, that, let's say, corner marks and center marks should probably always have the same color. Except maybe they shouldn't. That's the thing, right? Maybe it makes sense to have them, give them separate colors. I don't know. So that's the other question, right? Should certain things, like, should these always be the same blue, or should we have them be stylable separately? But we definitely need to reduce colors. So for example, it might make sense that these grid, well, again, I'm just saying, maybe the minor grid lines and the major grid lines should be the same color, but maybe not, right? Maybe a color scheme might have different colors there. So we probably need to do some reduction and combining of colors. For example, in places where we're using fill and color. Yeah, for example, in places where we're using outline and fill in the SVG to create a certain styling, but they shouldn't really be different colors, these should probably be combined to use one variable, right? But then there are other places where we literally have outlines, right? So it gets a little complicated, and ultimately there will be a lot more colors than people actually anticipate. Lots of people think, oh, there's only 10 colors or whatever, right? There's 92, and that's not even counting these, right? That's just counting the hash colors, right? So, you know. But we definitely want to have reduce, combine, and simplify. That's definitely an important step. Now, my goal is to, you know, do all of these things, and that'll be ongoing. But eventually, we want to start pulling out colors, and maybe that and if I do my job right, this should be able to happen right away. I should be able to without doing any of this work, to be able to define a singular color, make that customizable, and then push it through. And that it might not be perfect, you know, it might not hit, you know, if we call it corner digit blue, for example, right? If that's a labeled color, in fact, you know, label all colors, label colors. So the idea is we don't have to label, like, I don't want it that I have to label 92 colors before I can do anything, right? I want to be able to label one color, implement that labeled color, make it customizable, and that one color now is customizable. And if we later find out that that color should affect other things, then we just update it, but that color, labeled color exists, right? And then eventually we create them, more and more of them, right? Label colors, make, so, serialize colors. So we need to figure out how to store these colors, because if they're customizable, they need to be stored in a way, right? And we need to store them in some sort of sensible format. It could be literally just an array of colors, right? Or a labeled JSON object or whatever, but we need to figure it out. And for example, does it make sense that some things have more than one color? Do we need, you know, do we need colors that are kind of dynamically? So does a customized color have its own dark mode definition, or is dark mode automatic, etc., right? Lots of things like that. I don't know a lot about this. Like, how does color scheming in an editor work? Do you have to define all the colors? Can you do something automatically? Can you apply a filter to all colors? Things like that, right? But it can get complex very quickly. Like this puzzle, for example, in dark mode, this white, you know, is this white a background color, or is this a specific specified color so that dark mode cannot modify it, right? Because dark mode doesn't modify these colors either. It doesn't know that this is supposed to be hiding the tips of the thumbs, right? And maybe that's a flaw of the data format, because, you know, with my editor, people can just put the tips of the thermal where it needs to go, and they don't have to mark it out like that, you know? So, make singular color editable. So that's like, I want to get to a point where I can have a labeled color and make that one labeled color editable. Manage color scheme. And I'm going to have to decide on which version of the word color I'm going to use. And then eventually edit color schemes. And then finally customize shareable color schemes. I think that's the final thing, is that people can share their own color schemes and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not really looking forward to... I think I'm changing my mind about actually starting this work today. I don't think I have it in me. If I try it, it's just gonna... The stream is gonna end in tears. So let me have a look at something else. 1 second. Dark mode off, right? Killer off. So we have issues. Placing the pen mark, opening and closing the burger menu erases the last mark placed. Okay, so maybe we can do a bit of bug fixing. Who reported this? Did I do that? After placing a pen mark, opening and closing the burger menu. Okay. So if I do this, and then do this, and then do this... that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. After placing a pen mark, opening and closing the burger menu erases the last mark placed. Wait, pencil mark or pen mark? Pen mark. Maybe that's been fixed in the meantime by something else. Or maybe it only happens on mobile. Yeah. Wait. So if I do this, and this, and this, and then do this, and this, it does it on mobile. So it's a touch thing. All right, we have a bug on our hands, guys. Let's find it. Gosh, give me the books. Oh dear. So in situations like this, basically what usually happens is that we have a double event handler with touch events. What I don't understand is why it would remove the last thing. So if I do this, let's output when actions are being triggered. I think that might be a useful thing. Oh, it was just there. Why did it move? So I just want to see if opening and closing the burger menu triggers an action. Okay, so here it didn't happen. Here it happened. So if I do this, so we have group start, select, pen, deselect, grouped end, and then I open this and I close it. It does this. So it fires a select. It repeats the last action. So I think what happens is, oh yeah, I think the problem here is that I don't get the correct coordinates for the mouse at that point because it was on the menu and it's using the last position. And I remember looking in this in the past and then giving up because I couldn't figure out exactly how to fix it. And I think it affects the pen tool because the pen tool does its own event managing here. So I think it's happening inside ClickCell. Either inside ClickCell or inside Handle input up. And basically something doesn't pair up correctly. All right, let's see which one it is. So, clear, corner mark, open burger menu, close burger menu. We get an input up event. So we're getting an input up that is not paired to an input down. I think that's our problem here. Did input move? So we could just ignore input up if we didn't get an input down. Because I don't think we're getting an input down in this situation. So I'll do this, clear this, open this, and close it. So we're getting a stray input down. So if I do this dot input down equals true, and then here we'll do this, and let's just do this. Let's not beat around the bush here. And then if this input is down, if not, this input is down, burn. And then input is down is false. Cool. So we kind of expect paired input downs. I'm worried that that might cause a problem. All right, so if I do this, and then I do this, and I close it, it won't do that anymore. The problem is, will it screw something else? It might. But for now, I think this is a fair fix. And it's not very intrusive. All right. Yeah, click so. We don't need that anymore. Is that the simplest way of doing that? I'm tempted to refactor this into a function like I did for the killer calculator and other things, but maybe not now. Eventually I'll do it. I'll probably should do it as a separate thing. Okay, we don't need that anymore. So we're just recording, input is down as true, input is down as false. If this input is down is not equals to true, return. I don't think we need to set it to something else anywhere else. Where are we? Oh, okay, that's handled on the outside. All right, I think that's a fair fix. I wasn't actually planning on doing a generic bug fixing session. There's a way of tagging issues, right? How does that work? One sec. Git commit tag issue. Fixes number 14. Ah. Fixes. Nope. Fixes. All right. Just fixes number 14, I guess. That should do the trick. Fixes. Work for me an idea. Okay, I think that's the thing. Ah, wait. I think I need to say... 1 second. Let me see. Is closed. (0.174). I should have added fixes this one here. Didn't I have another thingamajig open somewhere else? Oh. Anybody know? I just don't want to do the ring thing. Okay. I think I need to write fixes Kilroy 42 slash C app slash no CD app. No, the other way around. I need to close these. So fixes this number 14. And I think I can do this in here as well. I think that's it. So if I do this, I think this might close directly in front of our eyes. Or maybe it's not that magical. This is number 13. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Oh man. Sometimes I hate Git. Can I do it after it's been pushed? Okay, copy view on GitHub. Those files. On GitHub. I hate things like that. Can I do this? Text editor. What text editor? It's not opening things in a text editor. Oh, there it is. Okay. Maybe this will work. All right. And shoot. I hope we're in the right place now. I'm a little scared that we're not. But this is closed now. I think it worked. Nothing exploded. Don't think we have a corrupt Git history now or something like that. Latest commit right here. Can I see commit history? There we go. All right, that worked. Ooh, hey, netting. Sorry. Hey, Franco. The order of words and phrases. Fast input of shift plus numpad makes the center input mode stick. Ugh. Feature request, multi-touch cell selection on mobile. Yeah, that's a bit of a biggie. If you hold shift and enter several digits really fast on numpad. Let us shift. Okay, let's have a look at this. I guess this will not be in mobile mode. After pressing the digits, the shift state will get stuck. Well, we don't like that. So if you hold shift and enter several digits really fast on numpad, let off shift doing or slightly after pressing the digits, the shift state will get stuck. So if I do this, shift, look. I didn't leave this in, I hope. One sec. Let's do this again. So shift. Feels like a little sticky, but not overly, like it doesn't get stuck permanently. If you hold shift and enter several digits really fast on numpad. Oh, shift numpad. I feel like that QA that buys -1 beer at the bar, buys Hello Sheep beers at the bar. Okay, I can't make this happen. I had the same issue in my app and the fix was lowering the shift time threshold required to get around the shift plus numpad issue. This could be... This could be a limit to a particular operating system, I suppose. So I'm going to close... How can I close it with... Cannot reproduce? Is there something like that? Those cannot reproduce. I guess it's just a label. Cannot reproduce. Color yellow. Yeah. Can't reproduce just means I cannot reproduce it. If I can't reproduce it, I can't fix it. So let's add can't reproduce and close it. All right. And this is more or less really a feature request. So there's much we can do about this one today. All right. I think I'm running out of steam for today, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't really expect to get very far with the colors. I mean, this is a good list, but it's a lot of stuff already. It's a lot of work, and it's not as easy as just editing a color. Like, I can go in there and edit a color, but I'm already going to waste a lot of time trying to figure out where and how and when. I guess we could start on a little bit of the refactoring. The question is, should I do that in a branch? Probably not if it's refactoring, right? I mean, the whole point of refactoring is that it has the same performance, the same behavior before. So, I guess step one would be to have the two colors here. And I opened a browser with CSS variables somewhere, but I must have closed it again. So let's see. Basic usage, yeah. The question is really, will I run into support issues? Especially for my native apps, that is the question. CSS variables, support. By the way, I'm just poking around over here. Can I use That is really an important question. I mean, I think it's been around for quite a while now. Although Chrome on Android is 102. Holy shit, that's not very old. I'm not sure what this means. 16 to 102. 2017. IE. Not supported. I mean, I'm okay to do that. I'm not sure how backwards compatible I want to be. Thing is, I don't have a pipeline for replacing them or for polyfilling them and stuff like that. So what we would want to do then is we'd have something like here, something like this. Right, and then we'll have something like root. And then we'll have something like... And then we'll have our groupings here, right? So we'll have puzzle... what do you call them? Input 0, right? And we'll create a clone of this. And then where we have the colors, for example, here, actually, let's not start with this stuff. Let's start with a color that's like well defined, right? Where we're not sure exactly yada yada yada, right? So let's see, puzzle digit or value. Or given, right? Given is right now is a plain old 0, 0, 0, 0. And if we look at, let's not do that here, let's do that here. So we have puzzle given. And that would be this. So then we would replace that with basically, and as you see, do we want to separate these out? And we're already running into problems here. We're running into problems here because if I look at the outline, what was it called? Give me something. Yeah. So if I look at sorry, I'm just saying the first sentence over and over and over. Visual outlines on digits. Okay. So outlines on digits sets digit outlines this. And if I look for that, it does this. So this is really a separate color. Puzzle given, puzzle outlines on, whoops. So it might make sense to define that here. Can I just select this word, please? So I cannot just double click to select a word, all right. Or digit outline, I think. Why can I not select? Oh man, I used to be able to select words like that. And the problem is these formats are not necessarily cross-compatible. I might have to translate between them. Turn all of these to RGBA, 8 hex digit kind of things. And how do you define a color when you have fill, yada yada yada, you know? So it's a little, it's a little icky. But let's try it. Let's not try it with this one first, though. Let's do this. And we'll replace these like that. If I haven't really used variables, SVG, CSS variables properly, right? So 1, 2, 3. Now, if I change this to have my new custom set, let's say, and we're making these red, what do I get? We get this. Okay. And if I do replace this with this, and then here we are making these a different color, what does that look like? So if I do this, for example, so I definitely have green outlines now. But disable these, the green outlines go away. If I change this, like this, for example, and I put the outlines back, we have our normal subtle outlines. Okay. So that works. So I guess this kind of just works. If I do this, we're back to here. Yeah. So this is one step of the refactoring. Another step of the refactoring is to move all of these definitions into one place and separate things out, like the positioning from the colors. So for example, these, you know, I probably want to split them out like this. And then move all the colors into their own separate place, right? Eventually. So we basically would just duplicate all of these and then move this out of there and then have this like that and like that. And then these are pure color already. And then these we'll duplicate and duplicate and pull the colors out. And these were here and here. And this is weird, but I think, oh, no, this is wrong. No, this is not wrong. I think that is still the way it's supposed to be. So, and these were, yeah, these are unchanged. Okay. And then we can add these colors. So we have color given, we have, now, for example, these are the same, but I might in the future want to have them differently. Ugh. But for now, I'll keep them the same. Puzzle dash value. And I wonder if I should have, like, these names, if I should keep them the same. I don't know. But for now, I'm just gonna start. And it's gonna be a long project. It's gonna take a long time to get it to work the way it should. Mostly because I don't like things to be half-assed. Therefore, I'm gonna take my time doing this correctly. So we have candidate. We have pencil mark. We have... Jeez. Oh, man. Why can't I double-click to select words that's separated by dashes anymore? I think an update is too Sublime screwed me for that. So we have puzzle, given, corner mark. Don't want to lowercase these. I kind of do. But at the same time, I don't want to have different styles. Candidate dot given. Puzzle given candidate. Okay. So we do candidate. All right, so if I double click this, I can double click this at least, right? And then I can do this and this. And then I can get rid of that. And that means these should work. Yes. Okay. So pencil mark, Pencil mark, pencil mark, pencil mark. Get rid of these. And then duplicate. Oh, here it won't work that easily. Yeah, you see it, like, it's going to take me half an hour just to do these 4 lines. I mean, it'll get faster, and eventually I can probably automate this a little bit. Candidate, given candidate. But it's not going to be a quick and easy one, that's for sure. It was legit outlines. All right, so now the question is, I cannot put these in branches because I don't want to work on this forever until it's finished. It's never going to happen. So this is going to have to get pushed out there slowly, which means it has to go into test, and I'm going to rely. The problem is that people likely to test this stuff are not the people who are going to have a problem with it using odd and old browsers. So it's all going to be a little dodgy. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to move the colors to the bottom and then move the color assignments to the bottom as well. So I'm going to take that, put that all the way to the bottom like this. And then I'm going to move these here also underneath here like that. So everything that's getting a color gets their styles pushed to the bottom. The problem is that dark mode is already going to screw up here because dark mode gets probably set earlier. No, it's inverted correctly. Or did it? Don't know. Dark mode. Dark mode. See, dark mode is actually relying on certain colors to be present, which is a huge pain in the ass. So that's the thing, right? I don't want to label the colors in dark mode like this. The question is, can we... I have a weird idea. If I do this... Right, so in pencil mark... Candidate... Pencil mark is supposed to be this color. So if I do setting dark mode... Like this... And then... Pencil mark... Do this and this. So this is really how it's supposed to work, right? And the fact that these are above shouldn't matter. So if I now look at these guys, which of course are in the SVG, and let's just reset and do them all in the first one. And these are pencil marks. So these colors are coming from here. Probably because it has the double class thing. So if I do this instead, stroke, setting dark mode, fill, stroke, fill 000. So these seem to override these. Puzzle digit outlines. Why is this crossed out here? Yeah, so there's all these weird interactions that are going to be. Thanks for stopping by, Mark. Enjoy your dinner. I'm getting very hungry. In fact, I'm gonna try to do like a little bit more, and then I'm gonna call it a day as well. I know this was a little bit of a wet fish stream, but the main part was the release of 0.170, getting the diagonal lines out there and some of the other features. I hope people will appreciate them. Stroke. So stroke is overridden by setting dark mode stroke equals FFF. So is there a way of making these more important? Like if I just do this, I don't like doing that, but would that work? No. So the problems are the selector. So if I look at CSS variable selector override. So the variable is overwritten by styling, which is a problem. Yeah, I think the problem is not here. The problem is with this. Because the other way, basically this style, line 1058, right? Up here. Because it has two elements, it's actually more specific than this. So the important shouldn't actually have to be here, it should be here. Right? And we're specifically looking at the stroke here. Stroke. Fill. Stroke. Cell pencil marks. So we have these two. Ah. So even though this is here, even though, because it's on stroke. My God, you see, there's so many weird interactions. And I don't really want to do this either. So part of the refactoring will be to change how the dark mode is being applied, I think. So instead of doing, the problem is, right, like how do I generically, yeah. So this shouldn't be a case, this shouldn't be this way in at all. So the problem was basically, so because I didn't have a list of colors, I couldn't redefine a list of colors. So I was basically trying to grab random colors, well, random, black and white specifically, out of the board via selectors. And you can see how I'm trying to select, because even capitalization wouldn't match because it matches by strings. So dark mode is probably not the right thing to look at here. And in fact, this is already incorrect here. And why is that? So this shouldn't be this way without my change, right? So if I switch to dark mode here, like that. Yeah. Candidates. So setting dark mode cell candidate. So this style, setting dark mode cell candidate here. And in this version, why does that not kick in anymore? It still exists, right? Here. DDDD. Setting dark mode cell candidate. Wait, what? I am a little confused. So, let's have another look here. Candidates. Setting dark mode cell candidates. Line 1071. Line 1075. So 71 versus 75. Cell candidate. Setting dark mode cell candidate. Here it's DDDD. Did I change this to DDDD? I don't recall doing that. Oh, because I removed these. I'm an idiot. All right. Okay. All right. Let's not touch dark mode for now. Holy crap. This is going to be so difficult. Unnecessarily so, probably. But it is what it is. So the plan now would be to slowly pull these out. And maybe I should refer to my structure here. And these would be group puzzle chrome. So these are colors that aren't custom from the board. The question is, can I do this above the color definitions? Because that would be nicer. If I change dark mode off again. And if I want to make puzzle pencil marks red, and I just do this, right? That works. Okay. Probably want to do this. And then outlines would be... I don't even know how to find this. This would be... digit outlines. Puzzle... That would be board UI? So I think this is another category. So board UI is already 5, this is 6. 3 would be... Well, actually... 4... 6. Let's put the app at the end. And then we'll do this board plugins. Group board plugins. Now the thing is, this isn't actually... I did move this down. We want to do the same thing here. We want to separate... Oh, geez. This is a whole block thing, right? We want to separate the colors from the style. We can do this, I guess. I think I'm going to do this. And then these can move down to here. I'll indent these. And then we hope we don't lose our minds. I think that's fine. And then if we don't do this here... Actually, if I do this... Will this work? I don't know if it'll work. Will complain on this? Recursive colors? Yeah, that doesn't work. So we can't specify variables in the colors, which might be a problem under some circumstances. I'm not sure yet how that's gonna work. How it's gonna break, actually. All right, so these are actually really important colors, right? That's the other thing, right? Probably 5 or 10% of the colors are, 90% of the importance. Like this cell highlight, that's just the old selection style. I don't know if anybody still uses it. I don't have any analytics for that. That's another thing I'd like to do, is implementing analytics for, see which settings people use and so on. But we have a selection cage color somewhere. Except I don't think it's done in CSS. Cell highlights. Okay, so cage selection, cage, non-string, stroke, stroke, yada yada yada. So does that fall under Chrome or under plugins? Because the selection is technically a plugin. Yeah. I'm gonna put it under Chrome for now. So if I grab this out of there. Kind of like this. And then call it something something puzzle selection cage. And we're just gonna use this. Problem is when you talk about theming, eventually it's not just colors. Maybe you want to have a wider selection cage, you know, so that's gonna be a little bit of a something I have to be cautious about how I'm gonna handle that in the future. No, that's a stroke color. And even here, the interaction between CSS and the SVG is not, you know, guaranteed. But if I change this now, does that change the selection cage? It does. Well, that's something, right? If you want a pink selection cage. So slowly but surely, we're gonna move all of these color definitions down. So eventually I'm gonna search for every hash, every whatever. And then all of this should really go into a separate file. And maybe I should do that now before I go too far into it. So all the changes go in there. Style. And what we're gonna call it, SudokuPad colors. If I change this and save this as SudokuPad colors.css, right? Include that way, and then take all of this bit here from there and move it here. And we'll do this. Have an itch. And we gotta figure out how we're gonna separate the colors from where they're being assigned. And I think the colors should probably go first, since they're the thing we actually want to configure. So it'll be something like this. And like this. And then the changes in the CSS are mostly removing bits and then putting things in, or replacing things without the colors, basically. 433. So we're missing a line. We added a line here. Okay, and then it's a whole bunch of removal stuff. And we probably want to maintain this layout as much as possible, just to reduce the number of changed lines. If I do this, only that line will change now, I think. Why is it removing this and adding this? I don't know. I don't like that it doesn't realize that these lines haven't really changed. So what was this? This was a tab, right? Yeah. Why does it think this is not this line? Probably because of the other changes around. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But now this no longer works. Why is that? Pencil marks. Where do you get your colors from now? Are we not loading the CSS properly? Why is it filtered? No, don't filter. Uh-huh. Did I not change this? There we go. Ah, there it is. Sweet. So this does work after all. Okay. So now, slowly but surely, we'd have to work our way through all the different styles. Too many tabs. Too many tabs. All right. Let's do something else. I need to add a few more items. I think maybe let's try the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's try some of the UI and buttons, because that's also an obvious target, especially for things like dark mode. So we have something like this. Button hover, line 721. All right, so 721 controls input button hover. All right, puzzle Chrome. So what do we call this group? Board UI. All right, so group board UI, and we'll do the button first. The controls button, and then we'll have controls button hover, right? And this will be controls button color, controls button text, and controls button BG. So that would be the BG, and that would be the text. All right. And then this whole thing will actually go down here. And bada bing, bada boom. And we'll probably controls button hover G and hover text. And then hover text doesn't change, so we'll just have to replicate that. And we'll go here. And then this will go here. Now this will be... Can I not collapse these? Why can I not collapse these? Oh, that sucks. The reason I indent these is to be able to collapse them. Come on. I'm gonna have to jump back and forth like an idiot. Alright, well... That's nothing for it. I think we can afford to spread these out a little. And then here, we kind of want to do this. And then we'll have button hover BG and button hover text. Oop, but did we change the color? Yep. And that works. Now, if we change hover BG to red, will that work? Yes, it'll work. Sweet. Okay. So that looks like it will work. Now we have slightly other button selected hover. Selected permanent. Selected permanent. Oh man. Is it? Is this selected permanent? Selected perm. Where do I use that? Query tool select, selected perm, hover, toggle, selected perm. I don't know where that is used and how. Well, so it's nothing for it, right? Controls, button, hover. So the same way we have hover, we have selected. And that's this and that. And then we have selected perm. And I don't even know if they have different colors. And I misspelled it twice in a row. Perm. Oh god. You see, this is 4 more. Oh, damn it. So we have selected hover, and we have selected perm and selected perm hover. Yeah, that's why I dread this sort of thing. And like, even though the color isn't defined here, I kind of have to define it. Otherwise, I won't be able to redefine it later, right? That's the problem. So, selected hover and select perm hover. No, sorry. Selected hover and select perm hover. And then selected perm, PG is this. So these are selected perm and these selected perm hovers. These. All right, and then all of these get moved down there. And because I can't collapse them, it'll be hard to... wait, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna move it down from here. Oh, okay. I forgot. Oh dear. I'm running out of tabs. So. Board UI. There we go. So. And why is this using dot control input and this is using these? God damn it. So inconsistent. Let me see. Controls, buttons. Where's the ID controls? And then controls input is here. So they might really be different. And that's gonna be part of the... This will reveal some of these issues. And then the refactor will hopefully give me the opportunity to actually to work on these. But you can see how this is turning into a major pain in the butt. And the color, like here, for example, it might make sense to just combine the text color into one. But maybe it makes sense to have different text colors, you know, for subtle effect on hover and all that stuff. So it's hardly something I can skip, if you know what I mean. So let's change these out. So we have now selected text and selected BG. Okay. Then we have selected perm text, selected permanent background. Like once I get an idea of what's actually... Oh, wait, selected hover text and selected hover background. And finally, selected perm hover text and selected perm hover BG. And if I did my job right, nothing will have changed. That's the painful part of refactoring, is that if you do your job correctly, nothing changes. So selected hover background, make it blue. And selected permanent background, make it pink. I don't know if that one will show. Well, apparently not. Unless I'm not refreshing the cache correctly. So, selected. Is that not selected? Ah, but selected, I didn't actually change that. Yellow. All right. This is a exciting stream, isn't it? Don't know if anybody's watching. I don't think anybody's watching right now. I think I'm all alone. I've finally done it. Oh dear. Hey, look at that. It's yellow. Oh, and the hover works now as well. I'm not sure what the perm part was for. Tab to change tools. That'd be kind of nice. It actually makes a lot of sense because you're literally using tabs to navigate. In fact, in the future, maybe I can switch it to use the tab index for the tools. Oh, kind of nice, actually. Yeah, tabbing through the tools. Let me put that on the to-do list. Add tab to cycle tools. You use tab cycle tools. There we go. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. This is gonna be so much work, and it's gonna be super boring. So it's probably not something I want to do on stream. It's probably something I'm gonna do while watching a movie or listening to an audiobook or something. Although, unfortunately, at the same time, you have to kind of focus and concentrate. Otherwise, you're just gonna get it all wrong, and you're gonna make mistakes, and you have to actually. Well, eventually maybe I'll get used to it, and eventually it'll be kind of mechanical, and then I can offload it to my secondary processing cores in my brain. Because otherwise this will be an endless, thankless task. It's gonna be depressing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna use this syntax layout just so, you know, the whole, if something has more than one color, it's clear, you know, and we know different, because we probably should have stroke here as well. Well, we're taking all of this, turning it to this kind of list, and then eventually this list can be structured. Like these can all be variants, you know. It's almost like a hierarchy, right? We have controls, we have buttons. The button has a text background, it has a hover text background, selected text background, selected hover, selected perm, hover, you know. But you see, this is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 colors just for the button. And that's not even a color button, right? So we're not talking like highlight color or anything like that. It's literally just different shades of the purple. And that's the other thing, right? Ultimately, in a theme, we probably just want to define these 3 colors. We don't want to define so many different variants. So it's a bit of a, there's going to be a primary and a secondary mapping. And ideally what you do is you define these, and then you have some sort of inheritance going on that if you don't define the others, they'll inherit. But I don't see how I can do that in the CSS. So this would have to happen elsewhere. Yeah, that'll probably have to happen in the JavaScript somewhere. So the JavaScript will generate this list then from a more structured piece of data. All right, that's it for today. My brain's hurting. What did we do today? We released 0.170, which is great. That was the important thing. We, you know what? I'm gonna put it done here because we did plan. We fixed some issues, not just this one. We fixed a whole bunch. By whole bunch, I mean like 1 or 2 more. Plus a few that we've introduced just now. And we did a whole bunch of color planning, and we finally have a new file for the colors. And people are gonna start, that's gonna be really good for people hacking around. Now, obviously, I'll have to do all the hard work of actually getting the colors moved over. But thus is my lot. So for closing, we're gonna grab a puzzle from Sudoku Solver NL, which is, I have a bookmarklet for to just pull puzzles out. I'm gonna get this Windoku here. I'm just gonna grab that, do this, and we're gonna do it on app today because, hey guys, I'm just finishing off. We're gonna do it on app today because we released a new version. So we can test it. Sudoku slash tracking of a. Yeah, my dyslexia is my ass today. Let's have the console open. So if something weird happens, we'll see it. Oh yeah, we probably want to push these as well. So let me do a run pump minor because the colors are definitely going to be a new version here. All right, so let's see. Actually this, no, it's only 3. I thought it had a lot of color in there, a lot of colors, but a lot of digits already in there, but it wasn't really that many. That's kind of interesting, sort of. This box here is very interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 and 3 are given here. 1 is given here. 3 is given there. No 7s. Oh. Alright. There's 3 over here. That's kind of interesting. In Vindoku. 4. 8. 8 down here. Let's do the other ones quickly. Go due diligence. 5 here. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Let's see. It's 1 here, 1 here. So 6 in one of these two. Don't like marking it like that though. Hopefully that's not gonna confuse me down the line. There's an 8 here, but not there. So here. And then 9s. 9 here. Ah, but not here. So that gives us a 9 here. So no 9 here, no 9 here. So there's gotta be a 9 here. There's gotta be a 9 here. Which means there's gotta be a 9 here. Which means there's gotta be 9 here. And... it's 9 here. Alright, where did we fill in some digits? Here on the right. Only 1, 9, 1, 8. Didn't we do a 5 as well? I thought we got a 5 somewhere. Alright, well, there's no 1s here. No, 1's not the right place to start. 2's... So 2 goes in here, so there's no 2 there. We need a 2 in this box. Wait, there's no 2 here. 2 here. No 2 here, no 2 here, no 2 here. No, not good enough. Just not good enough. Alright. The 3 here. There. Alright. Got a 4 here with that 9. 4 here. 4, 4. No. 5s. So there's 5 here or here within this gray box. That's not good enough either. 6. Thanks to that 9, we can place the 6 now here. Okay, to start. No 6 here, no 6 there. So that's the 6 over here. And in here, the 6 has to go there. No, but not here. Okay, fair enough. 6 here. 6 is here. Okay, no 7 still. No 8 here. Or here. Or here. Or here. Oops. What puts an 8 here? And here. And suddenly we got a bunch of 8s. And here. It says a 7. Our first 7. Woohoo! Alright, now we're cooking. So, 8 goes here. And that's all the 8s. That's sudden. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No 9s here. No 6s here. No 6 here. No 9 here because we know the 9 has to be there. And no 3 here. Oh, it's only 3 missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 1, 2, 5. No 5 here. And no 2 here. Let's see. Oh, 1, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oop. What did I press? Change tools. No 5. 1, 3, 4. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just gonna mega mark. I'm tired. That's my excuse. What's yours? Alright. 3s. 5. Up here. Only missing 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 6. Alright, enough random mark. Oh, wait, one more random markings here. 5 and 7. Okay. So, let's do this again. Let's do a review. So, one goes here or here. One goes here or here. And one goes here or here. Alright, 2s. So no 2 here, no 2 here. That's gotta be a 2. Makes this a 1. And this is a 1, 5 pair. That's not a 1. And we're missing 3, 4, and 7. 3, 4. Oh, did I say 3, 4? I meant 3, 4. And this can't be a 3. 3, 4, 7. So that's our 2. And 2 goes here. 2's go there. No 2 here. No 2 there. That can't be a 2. So now this has got to be a 2. It's a 3 here. We have 1, 2, 3. 2 here. Now we have all the 2s. Done. Done and dusted. Alright. 1s. 1, 3, 4, 7. Twos, threes. Threes go here. All right. Not a 3. 3 here's here. All right. 4s. There we go. 5s. 6s. 7s. 8s and 9s. I can't. It's not good enough to mark across here. Down here, we don't like it either. There's only one location for the 1 here. Alright, so that gets us a couple of things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 3, 4, 5, 7. No 7 here. 1, 3, 4. I don't think we know anything about the ones in the central box. Just that they're in this area here. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 and 5. 4, 7, 4, 5, 3, 4. So no 5 here, no 5 here, no 5 here. So that makes that a 5. So that puts a 5 up here. Why is the 6 up here like that? Okay, it's not. Let's get rid of that. We know there's a 5 there. Now the 5 cannot be here now. Cannot be here, so that's a 5. Alright, so these are for 1, 3, and 4. And now we have no 5s in here. Okay, but we knew that already. Except that gives us a 5 over here. And 5s here, and 5s here. Alright. I'll take it. Once. Okay, that's the only place for 1. And I think that's the only place for 9 now. Okay. Once. And there. So ones go here or here in this row. Don't have a good way of marking that though. So here or here. Alright. Got our ones sorted or confined. So that's got to be a 3, 4, 6, 7, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, and 4s go away from here. 9, 6, 4, and 6. No 9s here, so that's got to be the 9. So that's 3, 6, 7. Not a 6. Oh, not a 6 here either. That's a 6. 3 and 7, so that's 4 and 1. And then these two are 3, 5, 7. So, not a 3. 5, 7, not a 7. Alright, 3, 4, 7 in the middle. This is 6. And that just resolves a bunch of 7s here. So that's no longer 9. So that's going to be the 4. Like that. We're missing a 5 still, yes. And this one will be a 6. And 7, 4, 7, 4, 3, 7, 3, and 7. Alright. Thanks for Hangout. That helps me. We have now a new version in progress, 1.7.2. Let's get rid of the edge bump here. And that's gonna be slowly over time. Did I change something here? I don't remember. I think I just reformatted some of it. Ooh. I hope I don't screw that up. And we need to update this 0.172. No, not style CSS. Script. So we want this on 0. So that's 0.172.0 and 0.172.0. Color style refactoring 1/. It's going to be one of many for quite a while period of time, and we're going to immediately release this to testing, staging, and hopefully people will take a look. All right, well, thank you very much. As usual, please check out my Patreon. It's, whoa. Why does the Patreon not work here? Oh, wow. Why does it take so long? Please check out my Patreon. It really helps me stay motivated. And very soon, once I'm reaching maybe about 50 or 60 patrons, I want to start doing more sort of regular things, sort of schedule the streams up front, announce them on the Patreon, maybe do Patreon only streams where I kind of, talk to patrons specifically, mostly about like internal stuff, like planning of upcoming apps and ideas that I have, and the sort of bigger macroscopic features. I mean, the editor, I've started work on it. I've put it on hold for a while now, but I want to release it to patrons as early access. So anybody who's interested in my kind of easier to use version of a puzzle editor that lets you edit every feature in supported in my app, check out the Patreon, and appreciate your support, appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for the feedback and help with testing the apps, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Thank you very much. Take care.